Welcome, viewers. This is Wadidja. As what did you do? What did you think? What did you enjoy? And today we're going to enjoy a little review talk on Stellar Blade and the pre-release copies the reviewers had and all the little things people have been saying, as well as go ahead and do a demo farewell because this will be my last broadcast with demo gameplay for Stellar Blade. Because the full game releases in less than 2 days, so basically another day and a half. And we'll be doing some Abaddon boss battles and some Stalker boss battles along the way. The Abaddon boss battle, of course, we're going to stop that before it completes so that we can still maintain our game save data progress. And still be able to take advantage of all the skills rather than not having any skills or replaying the demo just to get to the Abaddon boss battle. So I have to make sure I pay attention and stop the Abaddon fight so that we can come back to our game save point. But yeah, that's one thing a person can do in case they accidentally trigger the Abaddon fight. Just stop it and it'll bring you back to your game save point. But yes, so my impressions in regard to the reviews that have been out and the many things that have been said, I mean, have been a fairly lackluster. I mean, to be honest with you, everything that's been said has been rather, I don't know, it just feels like the same talking points for everybody without a lot of substance or detail. And I mean, if there has been substance or detail, it's been really focused on the performance of the game in regard to its graphics, and lag input versus not having lag input or latency, and basically that. I mean, I guess everybody's trying not to go into too many spoilers or in that sort of thing. But I don't know. I feel like there's certain key points that would be great to mention that actually only two reviewers that I came across actually covered about the game in regard to its progression and things you might be want to keep an eye out for, be cautious about, and I'll cover those points shortly after I go through my impressions of everything. But yeah, it's I've read a couple of articles as well, and another key point that wasn't mentioned was the aspect there's been an update on wasted that on the actual Stellar Blade main game. They Shift Up has actually put out an update, or patch rather, for the main game that hard copy individuals will have to update once they load up the hard copy, but anybody with a digital copy will have this update automatically set to queue itself. And basically what we're going to be getting on day one is New Game Plus. And I'll cover that some more when we talk about the progression aspects that, like I said, for me, I only heard two individuals talk about in regard to concerns about the game or the manner in which the gameplay was, fleshed itself out. But yeah, there were a few critics, of course, out there, talking about aspects of, staleness in regard to the open world not being very well populated, but with things, I guess, outside of enemies from time to time. But, this is a post-apocalyptic game, so I can't imagine. And really, they talk about Zion being the last refuge for humanity, or humankind, as the game sort of makes the distinction of. And so I can't imagine why there would be much else in the wasteland or the outer areas past Zion. But yeah, so to me, the negative aspects of that have been critiqued about the game. I don't know, just seem pushed in some kind of way, shape, or form. And Um, so, and then, like I said, everything else has been rather stellar, to say the least. I mean, the Metacritics have it rated between, like, I think the mid 80s, low 80s, mid 80s as far as the review score is concerned. Couple, roughly it's ranging between a 7 to 10 on the scale of things. So there have been really no actual bad reviews, in my opinion. And like I said, what's been said about it has been rather lackluster or regurgitated. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're saying, yes, get it, enjoy it. It's definitely something worth playing, and I can definitely agree based off of the demo as well as from what everybody's saying. And I'm not regretting my purchase of it. But again, it would have been great if these reviewers actually kind of gave you more pertinent information about I don't know, certain nuances of the game that are really going to impact your gameplay. And can help an individual who is, thinking about getting it or has gotten it as far as how they want to proceed with the game once they enjoy it. I mean, because it's I mean, as some people have predicted about the reviews, I mean, come on, it's undeniable. If this is the kind of thing that you like to play, if you like to enjoy, it's going to be something that you'd want to get. And I mean, of course, experiencing a full game is proof in the pudding, as far as whether or not it's completely stacks up to everything that the demo has to promise. And it's good that the reviewers did cover that point. But yeah, at the same time, the other particular about I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. The other particular about the game and whether or not it stacks up to what it holds to be true. Of course, they covered various different aspects in the game as far as like the different the modes that you'll have in playing it and what that felt like to them. Like they kind of call it a ranged mode within the game where you're in these areas where you don't have melee combat, and you're just using your ranged weapons. But what's funny is that statements like that about the game, it's interesting that people wouldn't find that to be a spoiler about the game. To me, if you're giving me information about ranged areas and different elements to how the game changes its mode of gameplay, like supposedly there's some platforming areas in the game. If you're giving me information like that, well, you're spoiling the game, I think, in certain ways. So I apologize if, what I'm stating here may spoil the game for individuals, but I don't really get too wrapped up into the whole spoiler thing, especially if I'm looking into the nature of what the game's going to bring me, and even considering the point of a review, so I know there's going to be a degree of spoiling to what's going to be had. But yeah, so you have different game modes and what have you, and all that's great. But again, like I said, the meat and potatoes for me is I'd say at the third point that individuals didn't cover is like the demo game saver, the demo game save data. Like, nobody talked about this. Like I said, there's two individuals that were pretty decent, and I felt original in the way that they presented their review and the information that they decided to offer. And so, but yeah, the demo game save data was never discussed by anybody. Like, where are we going to start with the demo game save data? How does it start us with everything? Nothing. Not a single freaking peep. And that to me is wild, considering how much, press the demo has given, how much people have played it. I put over 65 hours into it myself. I mean, that to me is extremely disappointing that, nobody decided to discuss that particular point. Let's go ahead and put Eve in the planet diving suit for some shields, because I'm talking and I'm not that accustomed to fighting Abaddon. But yeah, so like I said, watching the reviews today, reading the articles, it all kind of struck me, a little odd. I felt like I said, everything was very regurgitated for the most part, and the several key points that I feel as a gamer, and I'm wondering if everybody else out there who's a gamer and as far as really getting into the nature of these things, looking forward to the progression, how does it progress, would want to know. And like I said, nobody covered the aspect about the game save data. Only 2 people covered the aspect of progression before the main final bosses, and then only one person that I came across covered the aspects of progression after the main bosses. So it was like, yeah, I don't know. I just really felt like there should have been more to what was up on all of it. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the talk on one of the other points that was heavily raised was was the aspects of graphics. That everybody and their mama talked about. And the thing is that a lot of that was heavily discussed. Oops, we're getting close to killing Abaddon, so we're gonna back out of this. Like I said, I don't get too close, because when you get too close, there's a cutscene that happens sometimes well before you realize just how much damage you laid into Abaddon. So we'll go on to a boss challenge now too. So yeah, the graphics was a huge point. I mean, that just occupied an enormous amount of time in a lot of these reviews that were offered. And I don't know. We'll stick with the normal loadout that they preset you with, because like I said, I'm talking and I might get damaged, and I like the beta energy too, so we'll leave it at this, and we'll rotate Eve's outfits as well. But we'll go ahead and start at the top of the Racer's High. But yeah, so the graphics and the game performance in regard to that was huge talking point. And I mean, and definitely it's a necessary one to cover. If you're an enthusiast in regard to being a gamer and wanting to make sure that the game is up to snuff in regard to what the demo has presented to you. But yeah, I mean, essentially there was no difference between what was discussed about the demo and the manner of the gameplay that people received in the main game. So luckily there's going to be no disappointment in that. But again, which is strange for me, nobody covered the fact that when they talked about all these settings, well, just 3 settings in the main game, as far as performance mode is 60 frames per second, in balance mode at balance mode at 50 frames per second, and resolution mode at about 30 frames per second. Now, the balance mode everybody seems to be touting the most about, and I mean rightly so. I mean, balance mode is real strong in the fact that it's giving you up to 60 frames per second at times. I mean, it can dip to 40 some odd frames per second, but by and large it's going to give you the best of both worlds. And, you know, that's awesome. So, wow, what? He took me back down like that? Man, I am not, Stalker, I tell you. So, but, you know, the game is an exclusive PS5 game. And what's interesting is nobody's talking about the fact that your game system has, you know, in its settings under game save data, it has in game save data, you can actually prioritize the game to whatever aspects of display and performance that it has, or you can go ahead and have the game system set at performance. Wasn't I supposed to get a retribution? You can have the game set on, like I said, the system set, excuse me, on performance mode, or the game save system set on resolution mode. And you know, so you could actually have a combination of settings set for this game. Have your game save, you know, your PlayStation setting on you know, resolution, and choose any one of the three settings in the game, resolution, balance, or performance. You can have your PS5 settings on performance, and have any one of the three settings for the game set for you know, resolution, performance, or balanced. Or you could have, you know, the default setting and have any one of the in-game settings on resolution, balance, or performance. So, I mean, nobody seemed to cover that point, and for me, I actually found a difference with all three of those. With, you know, options that you have, really, I get more than options than that, considering the recombination of things. And I've been playing on, prior to this broadcast, I was using performance mode for the PS5 and resolution mode in game. And though there, I kind of noticed a little bit of, sort of, say, frame, you know, the frame stuttering, so to speak, that you get because you're only getting 30 frames per second and it's constant. Having my game system set on performance smoothed that out for me greatly. And matter of fact, I felt like it smoothed it out a little bit even more when it came to just having the balanced mode of things. Like right now, I'm trying out just game default and the in-game setting on balance, just to let the game do what it's going to do without any difference from my PlayStation 5. Now, I'll be honest with you, it's such a fine detail of difference in regard to what all you can do or not do as far as your latency or lag and you know, the graphics, that I honestly, don't really notice a heck of a difference. I mean, but there is one, you know. So, but like, see, I'm seeing like pixelation with some of the frame rate drops of the balance, definitely. And you know, I don't know. It's such a tough battle and gambit to me as far as what to decide on in regard to whether or not I want to maintain balance versus resolution versus performance. I mean, I see how performance makes a difference on things. At the same time, oh man, wow. Okay, he got me. But what's interesting is you kind of get used to the way the frames of the game and whatever frame rate it has or doesn't have in regard to the combat. At least that's what I've noticed. And I mean, to me, with the game's detail and just vividness, I really want to see everything that it has to offer as far as its clarity. And to me, resolution mode has the best option for that. Although, again, I've seen some critique in regard to that, stating that balance mode supposedly does a better job at everything than even resolution. So yeah, I mean, everybody's going to have to make up their own mind, in my opinion, on what works for them. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the combat, as far as the reviews are concerned, the performance mode versus the resolution mode was definitely a point that came up, because when you get near the end, they talk about how the final bosses can be quite difficult to deal with, and so I don't know. It's going to be an interesting gambit as far as what I'll decide to do. In regard to which mode I'll actually wind up sticking with. And 9 out of 10, I may wind up changing my mind at some point. But yeah, I mean, definitely the higher frame rate will help. So I'm trying to really not use the resolution mode, seeing that, it may be quite probable that fighting against these bosses it's going to be very necessary to have the extra frames per second to see what's going on, to make sure your timing's right. But yeah, so I don't know. Alright, we're about to get too close to beating him. We'll go ahead, back out, and go to another Stalker fight. So yeah, so to the point of the rest of the, I say the main point that I want to bring up in regard to the reviews is the, like I said, what most of them left out. Like I said, what they left in was constantly regurgitated. And I'll be honest with you, yeah, to a degree, I'm regurgitating a little bit in regard to the aspects of the graphics elements of things, and what options may be there. But like I said, it's only to cover the point that was left out in regard to what settings you can have for the PS5. But yeah, I mean, there was like I said, there was a gentleman. Let's see if I can find his name. Yeah, Kofi, I believe that might be how you pronounce his name, Kofi. He had a good review, and Joraptor, Raptor, I think that's how you pronounce his name too. Both of those two guys really, I felt like, were the most original in regard to their presentation and the information that they covered when it came to Stellar Blade, and not being as regurgitative as all the other reviewers. Like I said, video or article, and Joraptor, I say the one plus that, beyond his presentation that he gave, which I appreciated, was the point of progression. It's like I said, a lot of people brought out, did not go into the nations of progression in the game and what all that may or may not do to the player as far as how they want to proceed with the game, and enjoy it. And to me, I think if you're going to show game footage, you're going to explain aspects of, different aspects to the leveling, get level gameplay in the game, because, they covered that too. Like, there's areas where you have these ranged areas, as they refer to them, where, you're stuck using your ranged weapon. And how you going? Stalker just kind of looked like he was doing something I hadn't expected. He got me. So yeah, stuck areas where you use your ranged weapon and platforming, like they could go into all this and feel like that's not a spoiler without even giving a spoiler warning. And to me, I don't think it's a spoiler, but somebody I would think would. But to me, it, it's it's not as critical to mention those points, as well as to mention, hey, players out there, if you're going to get the game, if you got the game, you want to understand how the game's going to progress you through its campaign, as far as what you can and cannot do. And the demo to me was a good indicator that there might be some funkiness in regard to how you're going to wind up progressing in the game, because like with the Abaddon boss battle, it's not until you reach the Abaddon boss battle and complete the Abaddon boss battle that the demo goes, hey, you can't go back into your game save, and guess what, you needed to do what you just did in order to have your demo game save data transfer. And it's sort of like, well, why didn't you let me know that before I fought the Abaddon boss battle? You know? And so, I'm messing up talking, so, you know, forgive my lack of expertise, in which I don't really have one, but making mistakes that I could definitely avoid, if I was focusing. So to the point of this notion of progression here, like I said, they did not cover the point that, you know, like I said, Drawer Raptor and the Kofi guy covered this point. Both of them did that. And the fact that when it comes to the side quest missions, you cannot complete or do any more side quest missions until after you reach a certain point in the game, and they give you a warning about it, thank God, before you go into it, rather than like what they did with the demo trying to fight Abaddon. But they let you know you cannot go back to do side quests after you go forward with the completion of the game. And though the game gives you that warning, to me it's a good thing to want to tell players, as far as in its review, about that particular point, because if you're going to get the game or you've got it, you're going to want to know how you want to proceed with the game, whether or not you want to go ahead and leave the side quest to the end of your gameplay, proceed with doing the side quest as you go along, or if you wind up having this information about the side quest, not being able to complete them once you reach a certain point, you now have the option to be like, oh, okay, well, when I reach that point, I'm just going to stop doing what I'm doing and just do all the side quests. But to me, having this information ahead of time lets you know how to proceed, because like if you wait to that point that they give you the warning, then you're sitting there going, what? I wasted that? Damn. Wow. He interrupted me. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, oh, okay, well, maybe I might want to just go ahead and do the side quests as they come about, and then and complete them, as I get them, so that when I get to this point in the game where it's going to be telling me I can't do XYZ anymore, then I'll be all right. So, like I said, heads up to those that get to watch this, or that would take the time, and I thank you for doing so. Know that your gameplay progression when it comes to the main game will be halted. When it comes to the side quest, if you reach a certain point in the game before the end, in fighting a lot of several of the main bosses at the end of the game. So there's that. And like I said, the gentleman Kofi, he hang on, let me check something real quick here. because I want to make sure I'm checking chat along the way of things. See if anybody's chiming in on things. Let's see. Double check here. All right, I think we're all right. But yeah, so with this aspect of progression, the Kofi gentleman was the only one that I came across that mentioned the point that once you, and like I said, I haven't seen every review out there, I haven't read every article, but I spent all day combing through them and listening to them as soon as they were released. But yeah, Kofi was the only one that said that once you complete the main game, you cannot do anything else outside of stay in the hub that you're last in. And the thing is, it's like, yo, really? There's really no post-game elements to this outside of just strolling around inside the hub area? That sucks. And so, to me, I think that it's unfortunate that people didn't decide to want to add that element. And I mean, maybe they didn't complete the game to know. I mean, a lot of reviewers didn't even comment on the point of whether or not they did complete the game. Several didn't even comment on whether they completed the game or not, and I guess that may be why. But yeah, and also too, the Kofi gentleman mentioned the fact that there's a hard mode available to us after you beat the main game. I believe a couple of reviewers did go into that particular point, but about maybe one or two of them actually gave any kind of particulars about it. One was just like, I'm not going to mess with it because, the normal mode was difficult enough for me. The Kofi gentleman was definitely eager for it, and I can agree with him. I mean, I'm eager for the hard mode too. I mean, now despite my gameplay not being full of luster here, because I'm talking and not able to concentrate, I have found the normal mode not as challenging as I thought it would be once I started getting my fingers under me as far as what the game is asking for in regard to its difficulty. Like I said, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get, decent, I guess. I wouldn't go so far as to say good. But, there is a lot to it, and we still don't know everything as far as the combat system is concerned. At least I don't, in regard to the main game. Several people did comment about the fact that, you do get these combat upgrades per se beyond just the exospine and the gear sockets in the nature of the gameplay. Some felt like that was going to be a spoiler to even mention that. But I'm not going to go into detail about it because some people may actually feel that is a spoiler. But yeah, so the fact that there's a hard mode, that's important. The fact that, like I said, and I think only a couple of people mentioned that, the fact that you're going to be stuck in the game hub at the end of the last boss fight is, and the fact that, you're stuck when it comes to not doing any side quests before you reach a particular point in the game are important. As well as, another point that nobody's been talking about really, or at least only a couple of people did, and that is the endings to the game. Like, I mean, I'd say the majority of everybody left out the point of the fact that this game has 3 different endings. And I did read one particular article which actually stated that the update or the patch that's been released in regard to this new game plus added another ending. I think the wording might have been a little wrong, or they might have been mistaken, but I have seen nothing else regarding a fourth ending to the game. But it's possible they've added a new ending to it, you know, along with the new game plus. But like I said, nobody I don't think has really played the game enough, or at least explored all these different paths to the endings enough to know how this fourth ending ties in. You see what I'm saying? Like, does this fourth, if there is another ending, which I don't think that there is. I think that article I read about the update and what it had to offer was kind of mistaken, because it's, last I checked, there are still no patch notes about the game, you know, as far as the update is concerned, from SIFCA. And the point that people know as far as the update, or the patch rather, having you know, anything to mention, is because they have pre-release versions of the game, you know, review copies, in which case they can load it up and see that you know, there's a new game plus option if they've already beaten it. And yeah, that's what's up. So, you know, like I said, thank goodness we have new game plus. It's going to be interesting for me as far as how I'm going to proceed with the game, knowing that you know, there's a hard mode after the normal mode, because if at one point in time, you know, we had no information or news about that particular point, all that we knew was this was going to be the normal, you know, story mode and the hard mode. That was it. So, you know, it's like I said, refreshing to know that we do have a hard mode to go into, but again, you know, to me it's almost like another layer of complexity as to how to proceed with the main game. I mean, I'm already having enough issues with which graphics mode and, you know, in the game settings to have in regard to how I want to enjoy it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But I don't know if there's much else I can really discuss on the whole review aspects of things, or how much was really worth commenting on. Yeah, I mean, the game looks to be what it's stacked up to be, according to everybody. The review scores have been, you know, in the range between 7 to 10. I think the meta scores have been stating that it's like the mid 80s roughly, as far as, you know, all the reviews being compiled are concerned. So, you know, definitely it's going to be something that I think is for everybody, or anybody who is, you know, who has pre-ordered it and who is thinking about getting the game. I mean, I think if there was a reason why you wouldn't get the game or want to enjoy it, there's probably nothing that the reviews are going to change in regard to that is concerned. Which, like I said, is refreshing. That's good to know. You know, that spend money this well spent. So yeah, I mean, and oddly enough about the reviews, which is a funny side note, is that, like, when it came to the visual ones, on as far as the you know, broadcasters on YouTube are concerned, the reviewers, I'm not even sure. Yeah, most of them, if not all of them, oddly enough, were featuring different outfits. Like, I mean, did you all collaborate on that point or something? Like, I mean, I found that rather interesting. But yeah, like, I didn't really see a whole lot of repeating on the Eve's outfits and suits. You know, everybody seemed to have a different one for the most part that was being featured in most of the gameplay that they were showing. There were a couple, of course, had a couple of repetitions of Eve's 7th generation planet diving suit because there's a couple of color options to it. Outside of that, that was it. You know, everybody, interestingly enough, were featuring different outfits. So, I mean, so yeah, like I said, I can't really think of too much to really go over that without regurgitating everything that the reviewer stated that would be of significance beyond what I have. Can you block that? I wonder if you can even block that. Shit. Hold on. Actually, let me back out because I feel like I'm getting too close to getting him down, and I could go into some combo or do some beta skill, and he wound up going in that cinematic. But yeah, I mean, without regurgitating what everybody has been saying, it's not too much I can really go into. Like I said, my big thing in critique of the critiquers is what they left out. That to me is just really important to know. That yeah, like I said, what I feel like I'm going to wind up doing, because you know I like being not necessarily OP, but having my options before me, being capable as possible when it comes to the gameplay. And I think that what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to use my game save data, because like I said, that's I just want to make sure I cover, because I'm not sure, you know, make sure I didn't leave that at that point. The other thing none of the reviewers talked about was where you're going to pick up with your game save data. Like, boo-hoo. Like, come on. And again, there's been no official word from Shift Up as to where you're going to be starting with your game save data. So I'm going to, you know, do a test load before I start broadcasting, because I'm going to have my gameplay live, because I don't want to be limited to the way pre-recordings are done, and I actually want to show the organic elements to, you know, what I'll experience, and share that live with people. Hopefully folks will tune in. It's going to be an incredible amount of competition, shall we say, on getting everyone's attention when it comes to the broadcast. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use my load up the game, see where it brings me with my game save data. If it does not start me at the beginning, I'll go ahead and take off my game save data from my demo, play the main game up till the point where it brings me to my demo game save, and then back out, get rid of the main game save, and then load up, re-download my demo game save data and start the game again from that point. So yeah, I'll start my broadcast based on, or the way I will start my broadcast will be based on how the main game starts us with game save. Because I tell you, it is unfortunate that none of these reviewers talked about that aspect. Considering that, I mean, you know, Shift Up themselves commented on, I'm talking and not focused. Shift Up themselves commented on what 50 hours of gameplay, you know, in regard to a good percentage of the demo populace out there. I myself have put over 60 some hours into the demo. Like, you know, like I said, to me, the biggest takeaway from the reviews is what they leave out, and what they left out and didn't say that to me wouldn't be a spoiler, and is that must-have information for how one would want to proceed with the game should they buy it, and the fact that if they bought it, this is what's going to be up. So that's going to be the first step as far as figuring out, for me, where the demo is really going to pick me up at, and definitely taking advantage of the demo regardless of where the main game starts me. And so the other point that I'll go ahead and take in consideration to my gameplay that, like I said, only 2 reviewers brought up. Like I said, Raptor, Jor, hang on, how you spell it? Joraptor, Raptor, and Kofi. Like I said, both of those were pretty decent as far as their reviews and their originality to it. But like I said, both of them were the only ones who brought up this one particular point, and Kofi was the one who actually was the most thorough in bringing up relevant points to what you'd want to know. But both Jor Raptor and Kofi stated that, well, hang on. Heal, baby. Like I said, when it comes to the side quests, you're not going to be able to complete any of them once you reach a certain point that the game does luckily announce to you and telling you that you're going to be locked out of your progression to actually do side quests. And I mean, truth be told, it's your progression to do anything in the game. Because that's where Kofi picked up where Jor Raptor didn't. It's the fact that once you finish the game, you're stuck in the main hub of the game. You can't do anything else. I don't know. I'll take that back. I think Jor Raptor may have covered that point too. I think he did. Because yes, he did. Because he talked about how useless his game save was because he didn't have the update information when he recorded his review. Because, like I said, they gave an update to the Stellar Blade main game, before it was even released. Well, as far as when it's available to us, rather, shall I say, allowing us to have New Game Plus. So, Jor Raptor, his game save data isn't useless, thank goodness. He can play New Game Plus and enjoy it and go back and do the side quest that he wasn't able to do and all that good stuff. And like I said, nobody talked about the fact that, what shall I say, the 3 endings, the 3 different endings that we have in regard to, not necessarily giving the details away to it, but like, where does that come into play? And what all you may not want to do in regard to them. I read one article which touched base on the point, stating that the choices seem to be at the end towards dealing with the final bosses. So again, that seems like and like I said, it was real vague on the point. So I really do hope these people with their pre-release versions do cover the point of these 3 different endings and how to access them. But like I said, most people didn't even sound like they completed the game, and the ones that didn't go into the different endings. One person said they were satisfied with what they had as far as the ending is concerned, but I'm like, okay, that's nice. I'm glad you're satisfied about it, but what about the rest of us? So like I said, a lot was lacking from the reviewers. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, the second point is like dealing with the side quest. So, and also to being, to me, prepared and, as unhandicapped as possible when dealing with the game. I'm going to complete my side quest. I'm going to go through as much content as I can possibly find. Do my best not to miss anything. So it's going to be a long playthrough. Because, it's going to be about what? They say about any average of, the reviewers were saying about an average of, what? Oh my god. I've been talking and playing. Average of about 14 hours of gameplay for the main campaign. Let me put on some more protective gear because I'm just getting beat up, jibber jabbering at the same time. About 14-15 hours with the main game if you just ran through it, and about 20 some odd hours of side content. But if you take your time in the main game, that could take you about 20 hours too. Where's the melee? So my first playthrough will be long. because I want to make sure that I get all of the Exospine stuff and wait on, where is this? Melee protection. Where's supposed to be a melee protection level 2, isn't it? Yeah, I want to get all the Exospines and oh, it's already equipped. That's why I don't see it. So I want to get all the Exospine stuff. I want to get all of the gear stuff that options that you may have because I'm going for the hard mode, plain and simple. And when I do that, fantastic. I mean, kudos to um, Shift Up on getting the new game plus available on launch. I mean, kudos, because not having that, considering that there's multiple endings, not having that, considering you get locked out of your progression for the side quest. I mean, thank God that they added the new game plus. I mean, like really, I mean they would have had even more scrutiny, but now they get nothing but praise. Fantastic on their part. So I'm definitely going to go to the hard mode, sooner than later. But again, I'm about to die. I want to make sure that I'm prepared for it as much as possible. And I mean, personally, that's where I want to spend most of my time. And I was considering just doing a speed run through the game and then taking the most time with the hard mode and dealing with the side quests. But I'm like, I'm going to wind up doing them side quests again in hard mode for the experience of it. And because, there's certain aspects of things that you're not going to experience with the main game that you would experience with the side mode. I mean, the side quests. So I'm going to make sure that, I'm going to wind up running through probably most, if not all, the game twice, at least. So I'll be able to get the benefit of experiencing at least 2 of the endings, with a full gameplay playthrough, and leave the 3rd ending probably for a speed run on hard mode to experience the 3rd ending. And like I said, there was one article out there who made reference to the update that was given to the patch for the main game release, and oddly enough, they stated something about having a different ending for New Game Plus. And like I said, I wish I had more information on that, because it's curious as to how that plays into how that plays into the other 3 endings that you're supposed to get. Like, is this New Game Plus ending some kind of bonus? Does it alter or superimpose itself over the other endings? Like, how does this factor in? Like I said, I still have questions that nobody's answering, considering that they have these review copies, they're ahead of the game, and not even mentioning these points like they don't matter, or more than likely they don't know, and all they can do is just regurgitate shit that everybody else is spitting up at everybody. So like I said, it's going to be an interesting thing. So hopefully over the next day, maybe some of these reviewers release some bonus aspects to their reviews, and tell us like, hey, yeah, in my review I left out the point that you can't go further in the game after you complete it, and you're going to be stuck at the hub. Like, to me, that's not a spoiler. That's a, hey, this is what you need to know. And that brings me to another point. Like, oh my God, like the one of the reviewers out there had a thumbnail holler about this don't ruin your game save, some shit like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's going to go into some details about, the what's up on what to look out for. Dude, this cat didn't go into nothing about how your game save could be messed up, or your progression through the game. His title, how about something like some tips about the game, and I'm like, I ain't even seen no tips, and hear no tips about nothing. Like, it was complete like false advertisement, clickbait. I mean, like, it's criminal. You know what I'm saying? It was like, bro, like, you got to be kidding me. This is how you getting your views off of misrepresentation and false advertising? Yo, bro, like, thumbs down. You know, that's lame, bro. Like really lame. Seriously disappointed. So, like, I know this much for myself. 9 out of 10, I'm probably not going to give a review for the game until after I beat it on New Game Plus to figure out what's going on with these endings and to make sure that there's no extra ending when it comes to New Game Plus, unless some of these reviewers start giving us some pertinent data about it all. Hang on, let me check comment here. Ow, that hurt. Let's see. Oh, Kensu, what's up? New Game Plus dropped after they all made their reviews. Yeah. I referenced that point. That a lot of them made their reviews before it dropped. There were only a couple who actually did, I guess, edit their review before they released it on the point about the update in New Game Plus. And there were a couple of articles which did cover the point about the New Game Plus in their review. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking them too much on the point of the update. But, at the same time, they could also, pin that point in their comments. Jorah Raptor did that, which was excellent on his point. And like I said, the Kofi guy, Kofi, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, he was real thorough in the point of mentioning it, which was excellent. But yeah, I get your point. That which is valid, and like I said, I brought that up in the broadcast as well about the fact that it happened probably after they did their reviews. So, I get it. But like I said, these other points towards game progression, these other points about being locked out and only having access to a little bit of only having access to the game hub. I mean, well, the last hub of the game when you complete it. Those are important. Yeah, Finesse, what's happening? Finesse, Kensu, both of y'all here. Great, good to see you both. Yeah, 12 a.m. No doubt, 12 a.m. around the world is going to be happening. So yeah, whenever an individual hits 12 a.m., so like, New Zealand will get it first. That's also too why I'm glad I had at least this opportunity to put up my little review talk on things, because once 12 a.m. happens for New Zealand, ain't nobody gonna be paying nothing attention about the demo or any kind of review jibber jabber. They're gonna be all about seeing some gameplay if they're interested in the game. And what's wild is I'm surprised. I saw one of the reviewers out there post up a video on basically his gameplay through a good percentage of the game before the release. I didn't think that you could do that. Now I've only seen one individual do that. He had so I don't know if he broke some embargo, broke some agreement, but I'm surprised because I haven't seen anybody else do that with their gameplay footage outside of giving you what I would consider spoilers with all this advanced gameplay footage, but just snippets, of course. But yeah, this one cat, he's got a lot of, I think it was 5.5 hours worth of gameplay footage, well before the release of the game. So I'm shocked about that. I didn't look at it too much, but yeah, interesting bag with all of this. And I really hope that over the next day, some people start giving you some more information about these endings, exactly where they come into play and what you need to do, because I'm not really so much curious about the endings. I would like to be surprised about it, but at the same time I'd like to be able to plan for the point, because you know, it's you know, if you're doing a broadcast, if you're playing live, or even if you're just enjoying the game, you want to be able to not ruin your game save, or or be able to at least cater to the point properly. But yeah, hang on, let me check what you got here. Finesse. They said do all the side missions first before doing the storyline, because if you do the storyline first, you can't go back to the side missions. Yep, covered that point too. Yeah, like I said, only I noticed for me in the reviews that I came across, and I was checking on that all day. Only 2 people mentioned that point: Joy Raptor and Kofi. But without a doubt, that's what I'm gonna do as well. Like I said, I was considering not worrying about it and just doing a speed run just to get to the hard mode. But I want to be prepared for the hard mode, and I want to know what's going to be, what to expect, also to really gauge more properly my skill level with the game, and gain more, get my feet under myself a little bit more with I think I can get away with this. Can I? I'm sorry, I need to stop it before he gets too low on health. Oh shit. Ooh. You know, gauge my abilities for things, get more comfortable with her combos, the other skill tree aspects that we'll have access before accessing the hard mode. So I think a speed run through normal, and probably not getting all of the, you know, all the exo spines and the options I'll have with that, possibly even missing some gear. I think that's probably hurt me, you know, once I get to the hard mode, you know. And like I said, we'll have the benefit of New Game Plus, thank God. But like I said, hopefully these pre-release dudes give us some more info on this ending stuff. And, you know, maybe somebody will beat the New Game Plus that had the pre-release versions before I get to it, to let us know if there is even a 4th ending or a bonus ending for beating it on New Game Plus. Because like I said, I saw an article that covered this whole New Game Plus point, and their wording seemed a little vague, but they specifically said an additional ending. So I'm not sure how they would have known that soon, just off of the patch, because nobody's mentioned any patch notes either. Like, I couldn't come across any information about patch notes for what Shift Up has given us for this day one aspect of things. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting journey. You know, figuring out all the ins. Oh, she couldn't dodge with her back turned. Okay, well, we'll learn something new on that one. So yeah, I tell you, it's funny what all goes on out here with these reviewers and just catering to the hype, and you know. But it's excellent to know that, like I said, even with all the meta scores, there's nothing really bad. I mean, you know, this, you know, so what, somebody decided to give it a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. You know, that's still not bad. I mean, most everybody's giving it anywhere from an 8 to a 10. They are, like I said, the meta's got it at 80, almost 85 out of 100, something like that. So yeah. Vanessa says, I'm going for hard mode and the shields. Yeah, I hear you. That's what's up. Yeah, you're gonna need that protection for the hard mode, as well as having your skills under you. Are you gonna complete all the side missions and stuff first before you go for hard mode, or are you gonna speed run to get to the hard mode, Finesse, and then worry about whatever else you didn't get once you get to the hard mode? I'm kind of curious. But like I said, I'm feeling doing a long playthrough first, just to make sure I get everything, and then probably doing another long playthrough so that I can experience the entire game on the hard mode. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So yeah, Finesse, are you gonna do a long playthrough and then go for hard mode, or are you going to just go for a speed run? I'm kind of curious. Yeah, like I said, it's debatable, but like I said, I heard one of the reviewers say that definitely doing the side quests is where you want to make sure, helps you get a lot of the equipment and gear that could be necessary for your options in what and how to play the game. But like I said, I'm real tempted to do a speed run to get to that hard mode, because I feel like that's where I'm going to spend most of my time, just in the nature of getting used to the game and the hard mode aspect, as well as just really putting the skills that I learn as I learn them to the test. Finesse said, yes sir. I'm doing all side missions and then storyline, then running again on hard mode. That's what's up. That's what's up. Kudos to you, bro, for sure, man. I like how you put that. Yes sir. Yeah, man, that's what's up. Yeah. That gave me goosies, man. Yeah. All right. So yeah. All right. I'm with you, bro. Let's do that together. We'll do that on the hard mode. And by the way, Finesse, I'm subscribed to your channel. I just hit the subscribe, so I don't know if you're going to do any broadcasts or post some live stuff. I'll be checking you out when I'm not playing myself. So yeah, man. Whoa, I'm not paying attention now. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, it like I said, I really want to also to soak up the scenery, you know what I'm saying, the environment, because a lot of players don't look up that much in the game, and there's so much to see and to be had in the environment of that Shift Up has created with this, that I don't want to miss anything. Then on top of that, when you hit your scan, you can highlight areas and items and stuff that may be, out of line of sight, just sort of spectating the horizon of things. So yeah, it's going to be curious as to how much walking around I may decide to want to do, just to make sure that I soak up and enjoy the environment. And like I said, I'm hungry to get to that hard mode, but I don't think given a stroll here and there to enjoy the scenery is going to slow up the progression to that much more than making sure that I accomplish all the things. Like I said, accomplishing everything is going to take the most time, more so than we're gonna back out of that before we kill him. Rather than just say walking and strolling. He said, oh yeah, I'm going to drop the video for the game. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what's up. Do that. Do it. Yeah, just to speed things along, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to make sure I do my broad. Oh, I'm going to do a boss challenge. My bad. I'm going to do mine on live because pre-recording it, I'm stuck with, as far as me, I'm not having a capture card or anything like that. I'm stuck with PlayStation's, record length time on things, and that's only like an hour. Well, you can only do an hour and 20 minutes on the uploads of a video, period, regardless of how long the game can record. But the game recordings only last for 60 minutes. And so, yeah, kind of doing a live broadcast will allow me to have, sort of say, longer play sessions without having to have that interrupted. Cause I'm gonna do a grind out, bro. Like, when midnight hits for me, here, I'm gonna be on it. I'm taking me a nap beforehand, and you know, when it hits midnight, I'm gonna be in it to win it. I'll take a break, every so often, take a nap. I'm going to be looking after my son, in a couple of those breaks. But my mother's coming over to watch my son for a little bit because she wanted to spend time with him before she goes on this vacation. So I told her, hey, this is a good opportunity. My wife knows about me wanting to put in some extra time with the game, and she's gonna watch my son a little bit, a little early for me than I normally stop caring for him each day. So, and then it's going to be the weekend here. So, and generally, because I do the whole stay-at-home dad thing, and I spend most time with my son more so than my wife during the week. She spends most time with him during the weekend, so I'll have a lot of time to go ahead and get through the game. I should be able to definitely complete my first run for sure before the weekend's out. I mean, heck, depending on kind of time I have to get to it, I should be able to finish it by Saturday. And start in on that new game plus hard mode. No, that's not true. That's right. I'm just thinking about a single playthrough, which is like 20 hours. No. I might be on this all weekend. I'd be lucky probably if I can get to the hard mode by the time the weekend's over. Considering the game length, because we're talking, what, about 50 hours probably, 9 out of 10, considering the manner that I would probably want to engage in it. So yeah, it's going to be, yeah. I can realistically see that it would take me at least this weekend with a steady flow of gameplay to get through the main game. But like I said, it's going to be heavy competition for folks on getting spectatorship on things. But for sure at Finesse, I will be looking out for you on any videos. Did you say you're going to do? You say you're going to drop a video, but are you going to be live, or are you going to do pre-records? Because I'm gonna check out your gameplay regardless. But if you're going to be live, I'll definitely make sure that I look for you first before going to anybody else, because I don't necessarily have any loyalties at the moment on who I would be watching or not watching, and I'd like to support those that are supporting me as well. And I tell you, between you and I should have went for it. I thought I could kill him first. Finesse and Kinsu, both of you guys. What? He killed me? Oh my goodness. Both of you guys have really been very supportive and encouraging, and it's been really a blast and a joy to chat with you both in the gameplay. But yeah, unfortunately, Kinsu's got to wait for that PS5. But I'm subscribed to him as well, so when he does, I'll be checking him out when he makes that happen. So yeah, Finesse, are you going to be doing a live broadcast, or are you going to do a pre-recorded broadcast, or uploads rather? Ooh, right in the forehead. But yeah, another thing I didn't notice. Hopefully, you're doing both. Okay, cool. Bet. I'll definitely look for you then. When I'm not playing. And but yeah, I I will probably do. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, I definitely, if there's anything that happens of the, that I feel is like really noteworthy, I'll probably hit the record button or hit the button for in PlayStation where you can save the progress that you have, and maybe do a separate video if there's something noteworthy that I wanted to capture that I feel like I might not repeat in some way, to do a little something special. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting journey. I should have healed. But yeah. But yeah, I've pretty much covered all the points that I was thinking about in regard to the reviewers and what they did, and money in my opinion point that I didn't cover. Because like I said, everybody pretty much talked about the same thing. Now, one thing I didn't notice is a lot of variation in the hairstyles. I saw one broadcaster definitely did, one reviewer put up several different hair colors, but I didn't see like a lot of different hairstyles. Like, we have this kind of short crop version with the ponytail, and we have the regular version. I don't know, do either one of you, Kinsu or Finesse, notice any of the reviewers post anything or do anything in regard to the hairstyles? I saw some hair colors, which was nice, but I didn't see much about hairstyles. That didn't interrupt him? Didn't see a lot of hairstyles. But there was one individual that I noticed put up a video on all the outfits, which was nice. Yeah, not a lot of information, not a lot of visuals on the hairstyles. But man, are the outfits for Eve awesome. Awesome. Like, I've been seriously debating on, like, once I get through the endings, and seeing what's up with that, like, man,
fantastic finish.
Will I be good enough, and will it be worth doing, like, various playthroughs, probably just of the main game, considering that it's like only like 14 to 15 hours from what everybody's saying, like doing a couple of playthroughs just featuring certain outfits, like the whole 15 hours and all the different scenes and cut scenes and all the different scenarios just feature one outfit. I might do something like that for my favorites. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, we'll go ahead and do our final Abaddon boss battle. We'll go ahead and complete it straight through, and probably go ahead and close out the video there, unless anybody has any more comments they're thinking. Yeah, Finesse, you saw that. I have seen most E's outfits. Yeah. There's let me. I think I can pull it up real quick. Hang on. See if the guy, Let's see, like videos. I gave it a like too. Yeah, gosh, I couldn't even tell you how to pronounce this dude's name because it's foreign and he's got an accent. It's WCIS with an accent above that, NIJ. But the title of it is Stellar Blade, all costumes. But yeah, he covered every single one that's available to us. And even showed the outfits for Lily, outfit options for her, showed the outfit options for Adam as well, and showed off the cosmetic options for the tumbler. Showed off the earrings, showed off the glasses. Like, he covered everything. So, you know, take a look out for that video. It was good. Maybe I can actually link it in the chat. Let's see. Hold on, Abaddon. Hold on, Abaddon. Don't hurt me too bad here. Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna try to paste it in the chat and see if it comes up. Yeah, it comes up. Okay. Yeah, that's the video on all the outfits. And matter of fact, I'll go ahead and I'll post up these other two the other two video reviews that were really decent. Like I said, unless you all have seen them. Like I said, Kofi to me was the most thorough in regard to the information that I felt like, you know, would be great to have that most people didn't present. Now, he didn't cover every point that I have concern with, and I would think that people would need to know. But he covered the most that I came across. Yes, I hope the game gets a DLC as well. I mean, I hope it gets a whole lot, bro. I mean, because this game just got a lot of excellent aspects and potential to it, man. It really does. It really does. And like I said, Joy Raptor was pretty decent with his too. But like I said, the Kofi gentleman, his was the most thorough, in my opinion, and original. And you know, and then I'd say second on the list there would be Joy Raptor. And like I said, the first link that you see is the one for all the outfits. So like I said, if you haven't seen those reviews, haven't seen all the outfits, and you're curious about what's up, do check those out. Like I said, I haven't talked to any one of those other reviewers, and you know, never mentioned any aspect of collaboration. So it's just off of just respect for what they did and how well they did it, as to the reason why I'm recommending it. And also too, the Kofi guy was the one who was on the whole point of wanting to beat the game on hard mode as well, and brought up the whole New Game Plus too. But yeah, it's gonna be an adventure. Gonna be an adventure. But I'm really glad both of you all came through on my final demo playthrough, my demo farewell. Like this, like I said, I completed both all the skill trees as far as what's available to us. I got 8 skill points in the bank at the moment. Like I said, I have this game save backed up. I may get some more time to put a few more skill points on me before the main game, for midnight on the 26th. But yeah, it's just, you know, I feel like I've kind of gotten what I need to get. I remember Finesse told me he has 19 extra skill points on his skill tree, which kudos on that. But yeah, this is what I've got on my usable items, which we all know is going to be needed. This is what I have on my materials here, and this is what I have in the miscellaneous of the Bitcoin. But yeah, I did see one other individual talking about the demo, explaining how you know the loot crates and the loot boxes are all, you know, it's RNG, which I've been talking about as well. But for some odd reason, I wasn't thinking that we would get more Omnibolts, for example, out of them than, you know, what we would get when we went to it, I thought it would be one Omnibolt or what have you, and this, that, and the other. But yeah, he was saying that the loot crates, not the boxes, but the crates that you open up, can give you more of these things at a time. And his advice with the demo was like, if you don't see two or more of them, back out of the game, go back in and hit that until you start seeing, until you get more than one. I didn't even realize that. Had I known and thought about that, I would have advised that and did that my damn self, in my first grind through game save. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I kind of missed out on that point, but I think it's going to be fine as far as making up for that point later on. But yes, because you need two of them to open up a gear socket at the console. Matter of fact, let me check something real quick. We'll go back to the Abaddon battle. Because I want to look at that aspect in relationship to this. Let's see. Because when you go to your kiosk, here is where you can upgrade your materials. So, okay, you need 3 Omnibolts to upgrade per. So apparently, if you keep reopening those crates until you see more than one Omnibolt, you could potentially have 2 gear sockets open to you in the demo before the main game. Did not know that. Did not know that. Did not even factor that point in. I know this much. I'm not going to interrupt my playthrough with the main game to exit out of the game and keep hitting those crate box. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't think that's going to be necessary, because I believe there's going to be other ways to get Omnibolts, I would think, in the game. Although none of the reviewers talked about that aspect. Like, can you get them at some of these shops or vendors in Zion and the different places? But I would imagine that, number one, keep in mind, there are only 4 slots. So it's not but so many that you need. You know what I mean? And, my first playthrough on normal mode, I don't think I'm going to be that hungry to make sure I have all these unlocked really early. I'm quite sure in the manner that, I'm going to play it, same with Finesse, that, we'll get what we need, well before we probably need it, per se. But so yeah. But nonetheless, though, for those that may watch this video, just to reinforce that other tip guy, I can't remember his name either. Oh, here it is. I got it. Dark Howl. All right, Dark Howl Gaming is his name. That's the one who put out the video.
Adam, get back.
I'll put that link in the description too. Items you probably missed in Stellar Blade demo. So yeah, that's the one who mentioned that about the crates and just reloading your game save data or game save if you don't get the maximum or amount of Omnibolts that you could potentially get out of the RNG. But yeah, wish I knew that beforehand, but it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Well, alright, so we'll go ahead and try to focus on killing Abaddon this time to close out this demo farewell. And review talk. And like I said, so glad. Oh man, I was trying to check chat here for a second. So glad Finesse and Kinsu, you were able to join me. All right, let's try to focus on at least doing halfway decently with Abaddon. But yeah, because I'll load my game save data back up to maybe do a little bit more grinding, I'll definitely make sure I beat him again to make sure that game save data is saved and ready for the full game. Let's see what you say there here, Finesse. Extreme Nano is rare on RNG.
Adam, get back.
I'm doing 14 out of 25 shy of finish max of chain type exospine. Cool. Cool. This is all just from your demo gameplay. That's all right. That's great. That's great. All right, focus. That's great. Have you heard anything about how we're going to be starting the main game with our demo game save data? Because like I said, for me, it feels like something I'm going to have to experiment with before I start broadcasting to know whether or not I want to use it right away or just get to the point where the game is going to pick us up with the game save. Because like I said, nobody's said anything officially about it. It's just been, you know, speculation and rumor essentially as far as what we know. I mean, Shift Up hasn't given us an official word, and none of the reviewers have mentioned the point. So like I said, I'm really curious as to where the main game's going to have us in it. Like I said, none of the reviewers covered that point. None of them covered that point. Alright. Farewell, Abaddon. Farewell, demo. It has been an experience. That it has. But yeah, like I said, Finesse, Kensu, have either one of you heard anything about, or an official word, shall I say, not rumor, about where the main game is going to start us with our demo game save data?
I can see the space center.
Like I said, I didn't see not one reviewer cover that point.
The drone is different. Yes, this is no longer the drone you knew.
And that's unfortunate.
Adam, are you listening to me?
Something serious seems to have happened.
I have no idea yet. My game doesn't release in one day. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. 30 seconds. Yeah, man. Yeah. We'll have to find that out together. We'll have to find that out together. Like I said, you know, it's Wednesday at 11:30 for me. So yeah, I think we're on the same time zone. We both have yeah, 11:30. Okay, yeah. We'll be finding out together at the same time what's up with the game save data. That's what's up. Cool. But yeah, I'll start my live broadcast pronto as soon as I figure out what that's going to do. Should only take about 10 minutes. Hopefully I'm broadcasting by 12:15. But yes, thank you very much to both of you, Finesse, Kensu, for joining me again. This has been very enjoyable for the review talk, and giving our fine farewell to the demo. Yeah. So yes, hope to see you all in chat again, doing a future broadcast for when we start doing the main game play in the next 1 day and 30 minutes. And thank you all again. So yes, take care and enjoy.